Hey everyone, happy Saturday. I don't know if I should be looking at myself. I seriously have no idea. Should I be looking that way? Happy Saturday everyone. Today's video is going to be all about Palm Springs, Palm Desert area. It is a place that we have been going to. I've been going to since I was a kid because I grew up in Southern California and lived there for most of my life. So we brought our kids there, and it's just such a great place to go, especially in the wintertime. So if you're thinking of a vacation place to be a snowbird, I never knew what that meant, but now living in Colorado, I know what that means. And I always need to get out of Colorado in the wintertime. So it's a perfect place to go in the wintertime. And I'm going to show you my travel sketching while I was there, but also I'm going to show a few places that are so great. If you're in the area, I want you to really try to make a point of going to these places. So I'll share more on that. I have a bum wrist, so I'm going to actually let this video kind of go on its own without a lot of editing. So it'll be a little bit longer than normal, but I think you'll enjoy all the little tidbits that I'm sharing with you guys. And it's my husband's birthday today, so I don't have a lot of time. We want to have a family gathering with everybody for the birthday. So, and I'm prepping for Paris. Oh my goodness, that's coming up real soon. I'll probably do a video next week or the following week when I'm over there, and give you some fun things straight from Paris, some things on how to travel with your art supplies, and what to take and all that kind of fun stuff. So have a great weekend, everyone. I had never been to a cacti botanical garden, so this was a really fun place to go visit, and it wasn't too hot, so it was nice walking all around here. It had beautiful areas to sit, and they had the first ever cacti, I don't even know what it's called, cactarium. Isn't that beautiful though? And watch for the fun little surprise I found inside of here. This botanical garden is owned by a private family, so this is actually their residence, and it was absolutely beautiful. And you'll see in the next scene, this is the inspiration for the sketch that I did when I got back to the hotel. This is the very famous El Paseo in Palm Desert, a long drive that they compare to Rodeo Drive in Los Angeles. I'm not so sure that they compare, but it is beautiful here, and lots of restaurants and shopping. And we found a wonderful restaurant, and we hit it right at the perfect time of the sun setting. It was absolutely beautiful. On the left is Tommy Bahama's, which is my husband's favorite place to go and have lunch, up there on the top. And this is called Porta Villa, and it was incredible. So incredible that we ended up going 2 times to this restaurant. It has such a mid-century modern vibe, and we absolutely loved the food, so we went back a couple days later for brunch. All right, I'm back at our our hotel and I had a few hours to spare, so I started on my sketch from the inspiration at the Botanical Gardens, and I'm using some of my gouache from the palette that I showed you guys in an earlier video, and it's the kind that you can sit on your lap or can be on a desk or table, and both of those side pockets can hold water. Here I'm starting with a mid-tone green color just to get a color down on the page, and that's actually a good tip to start with, just starting with kind of a mid-tone color of whatever color you're using, and get big swaths of color on your page. Don't be afraid of it. I did lightly sketch with a water-soluble pencil, but you don't even have to do that. You can just get some color down to get started on it, and then you can go back and add in with gouache. Anyways, you can go dark and light. If it was watercolor, you'd want to start with your lightest color and then go more towards darker for detail. Alright, here I'm adding in more of the details, still with just one color tone on everything. I will go back and do some darker tones and some lighter highlights. I'm not sure if I'm going to go ahead and use colored pencil on this page yet. I hadn't really decided, and I didn't do that in Palm Springs, so I may go back and do it at home. Here is a smaller paintbrush that I'm putting in the darker value of green on the trees and highlighting some of the tree stumps and the cacti that's underneath my hand at the moment. Here again, I am going over that first value of green on the cacti, adding a brighter color for some of the detail. And that's what really pops your sketches, when you have different values of the same color, or even, you know, a slightly different color hue. With this, I think it looks great with the little zigzag lines. This is what the cacti kind of looked like. So I'm adding in kind of a more yellowy green color on top of it. And now I'm just going back in again with more detail, some darker tones, some lighter tones to add definition. These are some rocks here that I'm working on, and the dirt, gravel on the ground, and that was a table that was in front of this that I added to the page. Now I'm pretty much finishing up this page with a detail brush and adding in a darker green with the palm tree leaves. I forget what they're called, palm fronds? I'm not sure. Anyways, I love this. I love how it's turning out. It feels so California-esque. And I even have the back of the building there with the window that I'll add some more detail in later to get it darker. There was some wood and then the windows, and then it had some paneling on the side of the building. I will go in later to add more detail of the roof as well. So the next morning we were out and about again, and we went to a vintage market that I'll share in a second. But I wanted to share about this place since it's called Les Provence, and we were just in Provence last fall. It was such a great location. It was so pretty. It had great food. I think Lance and I both got a coffee and a croissant that was like a stuffed croissant with eggs in it. They had a patio outside and all these yummy treats. It was wonderful. They even had some handmade teacups or coffee mugs, whatever you wanted to use them for. I'm not sure if they were from Provence, but they were so pretty. Each one was unique and different in its own way. So we sat outside on the patio and had such a wonderful time. I actually got out my sketchbook and my paints and did a quick little sketch of where we were sitting, and I'll share that as well. But before I do, I wanted to take a moment and share this little tiny sketchbook that I bring with me. I told you last week in that video that I would share what's inside of here. And this thing is probably like 3 by 5, so it's not super tiny. But I like to take it with me because, and I use it at home as well, but it's from Art Creations, and it's just a nice place to practice in. I like to also swatch colors in it if I get something new. For instance, that was a page I just had extra paint on when I opened my paint one time and it kind of poured out. A lot of times I don't want to just waste it, so I'll put it on a page, and I used that new ink pen. This is some markers that I just swatched in here, trying to figure out what colors I wanted to do last fall. And then I got some new brushes. They're watercolor brushes by Zig, or Kuretake is the brand, I think. And these are great, but I had to kind of play around with them a little bit to get used to them. They have kind of an interesting tip, and so I was just playing around, and that's what I use the sketchbook for, to kind of just practice, play with new mediums. This is just a couple images from France getting ready for my retreat last year. Also, I go on to Pinterest and see things, and I just practice in this book. So that's kind of a great idea. So I'm going to be taking this with me again to Paris. This, I think I used the Zig brushes, but also some Neo colors. And this is the tin that I'm going to be taking with me to Paris. I've already started to pack again, and just figure out what colors mediums, I'm going to take with me. So those are the colors I'm taking with me this spring. And I love just having this little tiny actually from last fall, because I can play around in it without fear of messing up a page in my big journal. And this I took to Palm Springs with me, so those were the colors. This was a page that I just quickly did by the pool one day. Not a lot of detail, but it's just kind of fun and relaxing by the pool. This was of a cacti in our hotel room. I'm not finished with it yet. And then this is that breakfast place. Obviously you see that it's not finished as well, but it's just a great little book to take with you, a little sketchbook. This I just did a couple days ago, getting ready for Paris, and I think that's probably, I guess there's one more page. I was just doodling. Sometimes at night when Lance and I are watching TV, I just have a sketchbook and am doodling and having fun in there, practicing and swatching colors and different things. Okay, this is the vintage market, and I'm telling you, it was worth it if you like mid-century. We have a mid-century modern house here in Colorado, and we've been living in it for a little over 2 years and have not finished with the decorating. So we have walls that are still empty, and we were looking for some specific things. So one of the things I was looking for is just kind of vases or bowls, things to just have around the house on bookshelves and different things. So I thought that this one was really cool, but I ended up not getting it. I was also looking for artwork, and we found some cool stuff, but nothing that really worked for us at the moment. There's just so much here, and because I'm a child of the 70s, a lot of this just brought back memories. There was even some sheets that were the exact sheets that my mother-in-law still has to this day. So it was fun kind of living your childhood through this, seeing a lot of things that you had in your house. I love these bracelets, and I actually bought one of those. They also had a ton of vintage clothing. So overall, this was a fun market to explore. They had so many mid-century things, and I think we'll be coming back next year. This was such a relaxing vacation. I was able to work in my art and faith journal and also my journaling Bible. I'm back home now, but this is what I started on vacation and am finishing in my art and faith journal now. And it was the first vacation of 2026, and I'm excited to bring this with me to Paris and the rest of our vacations and the retreats this year. So thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, you can hit the like button, leave a comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if this is the kind of content that you want to see. And next week's video will probably be on travel journaling. I'm not sure that I've done too much of that this year, shown how I use my traveler's notebook, and everybody that comes to my retreats gets one of my handmade traveler's notebooks that we have handmade in Bellagio, Italy. So I'll be sharing a little bit more on travel journaling and how that kind of blends with travel sketching as well. So have a great weekend, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Here's the finished journal page. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go in and add some colored pencils, but for now we're gonna just leave it as this.